Travis here, Barna Parts, just doing a little video to highlight some of the changes to the new belt adjuster. The most obvious change, obviously, is we switched to a plastic instead of the aluminum. There were a couple reasons for this. The primary reason was to prevent thread gulling. We had an aluminum core, and then also, the aluminum adjuster. And if not greased right, some of these were galling up for people. Some of them were accidentally shipped out without grease, and that was my fault. I replaced a bunch of these for guys. So by switching to the plastic, we eliminate that aluminum on aluminum, which can gall under friction. Also, by switching to the plastic, we no longer have to use the plastic buttons. There was just a small handful of guys that were breaking the buttons, so it was kind of twofold. If we switch to plastic, then we don't have to worry about having the buttons. The other thing we changed is, instead of having two counterbore holes 180 degrees apart, to stick your Allen wrench in there to get leverage to turn the adjuster, we now have a continuous through hole, so you can slide the Allen wrench the whole way through, and then to gain, to get your leverage to turn the adjuster in for your, to change a belt. We also are still using shim washers on the Sidewinder. Typically, we used to send them with 4, now we're going to send them with 3, because we don't have the buttons on these anymore, so we don't need as much shim stack. And this is just a nominal starting point, with guys altering the offset on the secondary clutches, machining them, so things are going to fluctuate from sled to sled. So the key is just, when you have this adjuster backed all the way out against your outside washer, you want to have a little bit of float there. So if you don't have any float, then you need to add some more washer thickness to that shim stack. And I typically say a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch, just something to make sure that there's no pressure on this helix when you're backed off, so you can get the other important thing to note too is, since we've switched to plastic, you do not need to get excessive on tightening the cinch bolt. So once you have your adjustment set, we're going to recommend that you use just this end of the Allen wrench. Gives you, because you won't get a whole lot of leverage, but you'll be able to tighten it just enough to tighten this up. If you switch it around, there is a possibility you could over torque this thing and strip threads, and actually even break the plastic. But if you just use the small end for your leverage here, you'll be perfectly fine when tightening up that cinch bolt. And typically, you just kind of loosely thread it in against, and I find, almost a full revolution from once you have it, just threaded in lightly against, is plenty of holding power to keep that fixed in place. So, just remember, always just use this short end here for when you go to tighten the cinch bolt. That's pretty much it. Any questions? Don't hesitate to contact me. Thanks.